The biggest opportunity of Alexander Zverev's career may have finally arrived. Jannik Sinner is gone. Novak Djokovic is gone. And now the German star is just 2 victories away from the one achievement that has haunted him for years. A Grand Slam title. On Tuesday, Zverev took another massive step toward that dream, producing a ruthless performance against one of the most exciting young players in the tournament. And after what we witnessed in Paris, the message to the rest of the field was impossible to ignore. Alexander Zverev is no longer just surviving at Roland Garros. He's starting to look like the man to beat. Coming into this year's French Open, there were plenty of questions surrounding the men's draw. Most conversations revolved around the biggest names. Could Jannik Sinner continue his dominance? Would Novak Djokovic produce one more magical run? Who could stop the established stars? Very few people imagined that both Sinner and Djokovic would already be gone before the semifinals. Yet that's exactly what happened. Their exits completely transformed the tournament. Suddenly the draw opened up. Suddenly the road to the title looked very different. And suddenly all eyes turned toward Alexander Zverev. For years, the German has been one of the most consistent players in men's tennis. He's won Masters titles. He's reached the top of the rankings. He's defeated virtually every major rival. But one thing has remained missing. A Grand Slam trophy? It's the one achievement that continues to define conversations around his career. Not because he hasn't come close. Actually, that's the problem. He's come heartbreakingly close. 3 times Zverev has reached a Grand Slam final. 3 times he has walked away without the trophy, including here at Roland Garros. That painful experience remains one of the biggest moments of his career, because when you get that close, the disappointment never fully disappears. Every new opportunity carries memories of the old ones. Every major tournament becomes another chance to answer the same question. Can Alexander Zverev finally get it done? Now that question feels more relevant than ever. Standing across the net in the quarterfinal was one of the breakout stars of the tournament, Rafael Jodar. The 19-year-old Spaniard arrived with growing momentum and increasing confidence. His run to the last 8 had captured attention throughout the tennis world. Many viewed him as the latest exciting prospect from Spain's remarkable production line of clay court talent. And honestly, he had earned the respect. Back-to-back 5-set victories had demonstrated both physical endurance and mental toughness. He wasn't in the quarterfinals by accident. He belonged there. But what happens when potential meets experience on one of tennis's biggest stages? Tuesday gave us the answer. The opening set actually suggested that an upset might be possible. Jodar came out fearless. He wasn't intimidated by the occasion. He wasn't intimidated by the opponent. And most importantly, he wasn't intimidated by the moment. The teenager played aggressively. He trusted his shots. And midway through the set, he secured a breakthrough, a break of serve. Suddenly, the crowd sensed a potential surprise. Suddenly, pressure shifted onto Zverev. This was the kind of moment that has occasionally troubled him in the past. A young opponent playing freely. An important match. Expectations weighing heavily. But this version of Zverev looked different. Instead of panicking, he responded immediately. That's one of the biggest signs of maturity in elite athletes. The ability to absorb pressure without losing control. Zverev broke straight back. Not just any break. A break to love. The response was emphatic. The message was clear. The second seed wasn't going anywhere. From that moment onward, the match slowly started shifting in one direction. The set moved into a tiebreak, and once again, Zverev showed exactly why he has become one of the most reliable players on tour. His level increased. His decision-making improved. His experience became a major factor. He controlled the breaker and claimed it 7-3. That may have been the most important moment of the entire match. Because young players can often recover from losing a set. Recovering from losing a set after leading is much harder. Emotionally, it changes everything. Mentally, it changes everything. And for Rafael Jodar, the disappointment appeared difficult to shake. The second set became a showcase of Zverev's quality. The German raised his level significantly. His serve became more effective. His baseline game became more aggressive. His confidence started growing. Meanwhile, Jodar's resistance began fading. The result was brutal. Game after game slipped away. Break after break followed. And before long, the set belonged entirely to Zverev. 6-1, complete control. At that stage, the outcome felt inevitable. The only remaining question was whether Jodar could find one final surge. To his credit, the Spaniard continued fighting. That determination is one reason so many people are excited about his future. Even when the situation looked difficult, he refused to quit. He continued searching for opportunities. He continued competing. He continued believing, but Zverev was simply too strong. The third set began with another break, and from there the German never looked back. Every time Jodar attempted to create momentum, Zverev responded. Every time the teenager searched for hope, the second seed shut the door. The final scoreline told the story: 7-6, 6-1, 6-3, a straight sets victory, a dominant performance, and another step toward tennis immortality. What impressed me most wasn't the score, it was the efficiency. Zverev has now reached the semifinals while dropping only one set during the entire tournament. Think about that. One set in a Grand Slam on the most physically demanding surface in tennis. That's the profile of a genuine title contender, perhaps even a favorite. And that brings us to the bigger conversation. Is this finally Alexander Zverev's moment? The evidence is becoming difficult to ignore. He's healthy, he's confident, he's experienced, and the biggest obstacles many expected him to face are already gone. Jannik Sinner's shocking exit changed everything. Novak Djokovic's departure changed everything. The landscape of the tournament has shifted dramatically. Now Zverev finds himself in a position he may never have again, a position where expectations become unavoidable. The German understands this. You could hear it in his comments after the match. He wasn't celebrating wildly. He wasn't talking about trophies. He wasn't making bold predictions. Instead, he stayed focused on the next challenge. That's probably the correct approach, because Grand Slam titles aren't won in quarterfinals. They're won by continuing to handle pressure as the stakes grow larger, and the pressure is about to become enormous. Waiting in the semifinals will be either Joao Fonseca or Jakub Mensik. What makes that matchup fascinating is that both players represent the future of men's tennis. Fonseca has become one of the biggest stories of the season. The Brazilian teenager stunned the world with his dramatic victory over Novak Djokovic. His fearless style and explosive shot-making have made him one of the most exciting young stars in the game. Mensik presents a different challenge. The powerful Czech possesses one of the biggest serves among the younger generation. He's calm under pressure and capable of producing elite-level tennis when confidence is flowing. Either opponent creates a fascinating storyline, but from Zverev's perspective, the objective remains simple. Win one more match, reach another Grand Slam final. Give yourself another opportunity, because that's all any player can ask for. An opportunity. And right now, Zverev is earning that opportunity through his tennis. What's particularly interesting is how complete his game looks at the moment. Earlier in his career, critics occasionally questioned his ability to handle pressure. Others questioned whether he could maintain aggression in the biggest matches. Those concerns feel much smaller today. The version of Zverev we're watching in Paris appears composed, focused, disciplined, and perhaps most importantly, patient. Championship runs often require patience. You don't need to play your best tennis every day. You need to solve problems. You need to survive difficult moments. You need to manage pressure. Zverev has been doing all three. That's why many analysts now view him as the favorite to lift the trophy. Of course, being the favorite comes with its own challenges. The expectations increase. The scrutiny intensifies. Every match becomes more significant. Every mistake becomes more noticeable. And every step closer to the title makes the pressure heavier. Can he handle it? That's the question. It's also the question that has followed him throughout much of his career. The difference now is that he appears ready. Ready for the moment. Ready for the opportunity. Ready to finally silence the one criticism that has followed him for years. Because if Alexander Zverev wins Roland Garros, the conversation changes forever. No more discussions about what is missing. No more questions about Grand Slam success. No more references to opportunities lost. Only achievement. Only history. Only a place among the sport's major champions. He's not there yet. 2 matches still remain. 2 enormous challenges still stand between him and the trophy. But after watching him dismantle Rafael Jodar, it's clear that the dream remains very much alive. In fact, it may be closer than ever. The draw has opened. The opportunity is real. And Alexander Zverev is taking full advantage. Before you go, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is Alexander Zverev now the clear favorite to win Roland Garros 2026? And who would be the tougher semifinal opponent, Joao Fonseca or Jakub Mensik? For more tennis news, Grand Slam analysis, player stories, and the biggest moments from around the tennis world, stay tuned to TennisIQ.